Hey guys, it's Jen over at jenscrappypages.blogspot.com, and this is today's card. It is a card that I cased from the brand new catalog that is coming out on June 1st. And I only changed up a couple of things on here. First of all, the sentiment, because I didn't have the stamp set that they used, and then I added a couple of sparkles. So about 99% of this card is cased. And I just really loved all of the texture on the background that they created using the die set that went along with the Swirly Bird stamps. So let's get started with the supplies, and I'll show you how I put it together. I used the Whisper White Baker's Twine, a few sparkles, the Jar of Love stamp set for the sentiment, the Swirly Bird stamp set and Swirly Bird Thinlits dies, Swirly Scribbles, sorry. Swirly Scribbles Thinlits dies. That's what that is. That took entirely too long. And then the Layering Circles framelets. For ink, I used Emerald Envy, Peekaboo Peach, Sweet Sugar Plum, Flirty Flamingo, which all of these are the 2016-2018 in colors. You'll need some Versamark and some white embossing powder for mine. And then I used the fine tip glue pen to adhere all of my dies down onto my paper. For cardstock, I used a 5.5 by 8.5 Peekaboo Peach and a about 1 3/4 or 1.5 inch square to cut out this circle. For the Whisper White cardstock, you're going to need a large scrap, so at least a 5 3/4 by 8.5 to be able to cut everything out that you need for this project. And then I had a 3 3/4 by 5 for the front. And then this circle will get cut from the larger scrap that you have. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp out the remaining flowers and leaves that I need for this project. I tried to have most everything stamped out and ready to go because it's a pretty detailed card. So I'm just going to open up all of my stamp pads here and get my little scrap. And so we're going to stamp the leaf. We need, and I'll show you how many we need in total once I get going on this. So you're going to need 2 of these and 4 of the smaller ones. And then you're going to need 4 of these little flowers in Peekaboo Peach. And this larger swirl is going to be in the Flirty Flamingo, which, yeah, you can see it. Okay, and then the smaller one is going to be in the Sweet Sugar Plum. So that's that. And then we're going to take our little Peekaboo Peach circle and we're going to stamp out the word hello in our Versamark. And then we're going to put the white embossing powder on top of that. So that's that. A little bit of, and I probably could have used, and which I think I did actually, but this should be fine. So I think initially I used the white pigment pad, but this will work. So I'm going to go ahead and quick take my heat gun to this and I'll fast forward through it. So that didn't take long, so I'm going to set that aside and then bring out the Big Shot and cut these out. And I won't bore you with the time it takes to do this, so I'll fast forward through it. Alright, so when all is said and done, these are the pieces that you're going to need. So you're going to need 3 of these little flowers from Peekaboo Peach, these 2 from Flirty Flamingo, that's the larger flower, and you'll need 2 smaller ones from the Sweet Sugar Plum, plus 4 of the smaller leaves and 2 of the larger leaves. And then you're going to need to cut 4 of the larger swirlies and then 4 of the ones that are smaller, And how I did that is I just placed them in the smaller one inside the larger one, which cut down on cutting time because I didn't realize it fit when I first did it. So, and then you'll have your Peekaboo Peach with your sentiment and this. So I have already glued on 3 of these, and I was just going to go ahead and show you. I'll probably fast forward through this too, but I did use the fine tip glue pen for this, and you don't need a whole lot on here, but I did put it on every single little piece that needed to be adhered down on here. So I'll get this all glued up and fast forward through it while I'm gluing it. This piece is going to go on our top corner, and it is going to just kind of fit in here into this little area. And then you're just going to kind of press down to make sure that the glue sticks. And hopefully we've glued all of the pieces correctly. And then we're going to do the same for the smaller piece. And that is just going to go inside here in this part. And again, you'll just kind of press down to make sure that that's all glued. I'm going to let that sit for just a minute because then I'm going to come over once it's completely dried and cut this off. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and adhere our circles. And that's just going to go to the center here. And then hopefully this is dry by now. You can do this one of 2 ways. You can either use your paper trimmer, which I tried the first time around, but I wasn't really especially thrilled with the way the paper trimmer cut it. But you can line up your blade and cut it with that. I did prefer to just use my scissors because I could get up close there and get it without leaving a edge from my paper trimmer. So the rest of it is just going to be assembling all of our little flowers, which is a little time consuming, but it is so worth it when the card is finished. So this piece is going to go approximately here. And then I used my glue dots. So I'm just going to put a little bit of a glue dot at the edge of this, and that's just going to come over here off to the side a little bit from your hello. And then you're going to get your other piece and the same. So that's going to go up here. And then one last one that's going to get attached to that is going to be the little Peekaboo Peach flower, and that's just going to kind of come over here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to assemble the rest of the card and fast forward through it, but maybe do it a little bit slower so you can see the process and how I layer each one. Okay, so this is what we have so far, and I did want to note that I did put dimensionals on these 2 flowers here, and then we're just going to adhere this piece directly to our card base. And I also have this pre-folded or pre-scored at the 4.5 or 4 1/4 mark. So that's just going to get stuck on there. And then we're going to tie a little bow using our twine. And this is going to get attached just using a little tiny glue dot. And I'm just going to put it right here on this little leaf. Isn't that cute? Just a little extra. I think I might trim that down just a tad. There. And last but not least, of course, I'm going to add just a few sparkles. And that's just going to go into the center of these little peekaboo peach flowers, which are so stinking cute. So this card is a little bit more labor intensive. There's a lot of cutting, a lot of stamping, but I feel like it was totally worth it to have the outcome of this card. And I'll be honest with you, I would have never thought to put all of these elements together, but I just absolutely love how it kind of almost looks like an embossed background. The texture is just really cool on this card. So that's it. That's the project for today. I can't wait for you guys to be able to see the new catalog coming up. So if you would like, you can head to my blog and I will have the dimensions, but I probably won't have the specific instructions. So if you'd like to recreate this card, just head back to the video and you will get your best instructions from there. Thanks so much for watching. I will talk to you later. Bye.